And hello and welcome. My name is Campin' Carl, and you're here on the StarcraftAlaska channel, and I'm going to be casting a game that was suggested to me on Cast It, which is a part of Reddit. I don't know which one of these people is our Redditor, but this is Shattered Temple, and we have Red Thor here spawning as the Terran in the upper right, and Purplepeopleeater, who is the Zerg here in the upper left. So this is a close spawn position. Got some good luck, have funs coming out. Both these players look like they're going to have a nice, well-mannered game. It has a smiley face there. Don't really know much about the players here. I assume this is a Diamond or Masters level game just because of what was said in the private message. We'll see. See what the outcome is. So, Red Thor going ahead and building his supply depot back behind his mineral line. Probably going to go ahead and do a wall off here at some point with his barracks, but for right now, going to go ahead and save a little bit of time and build his supply depot back here, with not starting his wall. His 12th SCV is coming out right now, assuming that's going to build a barracks as soon as it has enough money, and there it goes. Going to the production tab, back on our Zerg side of things, more drones being produced, or some type of delayed pool, maybe 16, or a 14 pool, 16 hatch. And we do have the 15th drone coming down here, getting close to 300 minerals. This looks like it's going to be a scouting drone. We do have, there it is, the natural expansion, Fast Expo on 14 for Purplepeopleeater. Red Thor here going ahead and going for 2 barracks, which is going to be scouted, so the Zerg opponent is going to know that his opponent is basically going to wall off, maybe apply some early pressure. We'll see if that prompts him to make any Zerglings or defensive structures straight off the bat. Oh, and that is not a wall off. There's a small gap there. The drone is able to get in, and he's going to go ahead and harass down this SCV, but it does look like the Marine's going to finish in time to deal with it. Is he going to delay this? Let's see here. SCV moving around, getting very close to finishing, and the Marine does come out. It's going to probably catch this drone. Stutter Step Micro being very effective here. Drone leaving with just a few HP. Looks like he is going to escape. Meanwhile, Red Thor moving up into Purplepeopleeater's base. He does go ahead and scout this early expo, pulling probably too many drones to take care of that one SCV. Not really any tech to hide. Spawning pool almost finishing now. You know, he was probably going to go ahead and transfer those drones anyway, use them to do a bit of harass on that scouting SCV. Both players getting their scouting SCVs alive, and oh, here we go. Red Thor going ahead and making that bunker very close to the natural, pulling the drones now, 1 Marine out. We'll see if he can actually get the finish off on this, microing back that Marine. Bunker about done. 2 Marines out now, one at very low health. Oh, and he does lose that initial Marine. Gonna go ahead, 60%, 70%, wings are now on the field. Gonna go ahead and engage this Marine. 1 Marine down, here's the second, and 6 more wings on the way. That's gonna give him a total of 12 on the field. The bunker does complete, but it is being salvaged now. Red Thor's macro slipping a bit, 800, 700 minerals in the bank. Purplepeopleeater falling behind just a little bit. We have very even supplies now. Looking over at the mineral tab, similar story. Zerg at this point, obviously, going for the early expo, should be a little further ahead. Back in the production tab, we see 2 more barracks coming out, and a few Marines, also a command center, so this is looking like a very standard 3 racks expand. Going for 2 gases at one time, so we'll have to see what kind of tech play is in order. Red Thor definitely didn't do what he needed to do with that early attack, not able to kill nearly enough drones, so Purplepeopleeater also not really being able to pull ahead in the drone count, forcing him to make too many Zerglings probably at this point. Popping back into the main, we do see that Zerg has gas finished. There he goes, transferring 3 drones to his gas. Probably going to go for metabolic boost at this point. Not really sure what his next plan is going to be. Droning up very hard now, and I apologize, the computer's stuttering just a little bit. Back in the income tab, we can see that Purplepeopleeater only ahead by about 6 drones at this point, but with the mules coming down from Red Thor, that's going to be, you know, just about the same. 4 racks now, going ahead and getting the tech lab, probably going to go for early stim. That is still not a wall off, so Red Thor's going to have to be careful. That is quite a few Marines he's moving out, so probably isn't going to be too susceptible to a Ling running by. Barracks, a bunker being started there at the high ground, and here come the Marines. 15 Marines on the way to the Zerg Natural. Does he have defense up? Yes, he did spot that. 2 spine crawlers on the way, an Evo chamber for almost a wall off. Go to the unit counting station here real quick. We do see that there are 10 Lings on the field, 17 Marines, 3 Queens out, and the 3 Queens don't have enough energy for transfuse. Here come the Marines up at the top, focusing down that Queen. 1 Queen will fall, stutter stepping, killing all those Zerglings, and is he going to get down the other Queen? No, he's going to stop. He's going to focus down the Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler does get canceled. 4 Lings coming in, trying to get us around. Nope, they're going to go ahead and get microed down. Marines now attacking this Queen. Ooh, this does not look good for the Zerg. Purplepeopleeater. Marines in his natural. He's had to pull all those drones. Still has quite a few Marines. Going to start focusing down this natural. At the same time, Red Thor does have his expansion down. These SCVs are not mining, but he still is continuing to pump out Marine Marauder. His eBay is done. He's not getting upgrades, though. And here come a ton of Lings out from the main from Purplepeopleeater, surrounding that lone Marine off on his own. Marines now retreating back to the base, and we are probably going to see a little bit of a longer game after that. Initial attack did quite a bit of damage. Going to the income tab yet again, we see Zerg is still up with 33 drones to 26, but again, offset with that Mules. We see that the income tab is about the same for both of these players. Red Thor, this bunker, this is going to come into play as we do have a Ling counterattack on the way. About a page of Lings coming in now, and he's coming up the ramp. Ooh, decides to poke back. Doesn't like what he sees up there with the bunker. Plenty of Marine Marauder out on the field. Going to go ahead and build a second bunker. Get it kind of a, quarter wall off here. It's really going to deny Zerg's ability to, pop in here and attack the natural. Now with 2 command centers pumping out SCVs, Zerg forced to make a ton of Lings. This is favoring Red Thor, who does even have the supply lead by about 10 right now. And quite a few Banelings being morphed in midfield. No Mutas or Spire yet on the way. Metabolic Boost is just about finishing, and a Lair, so we could see the transition to some Muta play. Banelings now out on the field, going to the unit counting station. 13 Banelings, 33 Lings. This looks like it could be a potential bust situation, but there is a full wall up here, it looks like. 3 bunkers finishing. Plenty of Marines, 1 SCV up, and here come the Banelings and the Zerglings, sorry. Here come the Banelings in. Can they do enough damage? Splashing against all of those, and they do get in, but there's plenty of Marine Marauder stimming, moving back. Most of the Marauders absorbing the damage from the Banelings. So even though he did break through the wall, he wasn't able to do any economic damage. Here come SCVs in to rebuild the wall. Red Thor still maintains a slight food advantage over Purplepeopleeater. Popping real quick back into the income tab. Again, income-wise, very similar story, even though Red Thor actually, now ahead, I'm sorry, slightly. With the addition of the Mules, he's going to have a slightly stronger income. Purplepeopleeater having to make all of these. He spent so much gas on his Banelings that even now, if he goes for any sort of, mute attack, he's going to be behind because the gas is going into Banelings and not into Mutalists. Looks like we do have an infestation pit that's going to finish, so he's going to go for some fungal growth, or if the Terran player decides to go for some tank play, which it does look like he's going to do, he might be able to get a few neural parasites off. Zerg also spreading his creep fairly well down his ramp. He wants to make sure that he can see any attacks that are coming. Defensive spines at the front here. Here come more Lings down, popping in and out. Some drones transferring down here. Now this is an interesting development because we have the Zerg player, his natural has a destructible rocks, which he has neglected to break down until now. So instead he's gone ahead and gotten an early third, kind of in the location for the third for this bottom base. So Terran may not know about this even if he scans and does detect this, but Purplepeopleeater will probably, the minute he gets these rocks down, go ahead and take that base. He needs to get some kind of economic advantage because at the current moment, Purplepeopleeater, slightly up in Harvesters and with the Mules, it's going to put him ahead. Siege mode finish, Stim now finishing, Pathogen Glands coming out now for the infestors, so when they spawn they will be able to do a fungal growth. It is important to note that some of these things will change here with the next patch. So Purplepeopleeater now has destroyed his destructible rocks. We'll probably move one of these drones over and start a hatchery. Down here it is hidden third, I should say. Fair number of drones. Should probably start seeing a queen. But still, Purplepeopleeater down quite a bit in supply. 30 supply at this point. And this is mostly due to the fact that Red Thor was able to secure this natural fairly easily, even after a botched attempt at his initial bunker rush. His second attack following up doing pretty good damage. 2 of these command centers able to pump out SCVs and drop Thors has given him a great economic advantage. Now up about 30 food. And here comes a ton more barracks and factories. So he's probably going to push with this very strong Marine Marauder siege tank. He's going to go ahead and salvage that middle bunker. And here comes the push across the map. Purplepeopleeater should see this coming. He has his creep very well spread. Creep timers out along the map, but looks like we have quite a few infestors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 infestors on the field. They do have enough energy for a fungal apiece, tons of lings, but the banelings here morphing in the natural. He's going to need to get these down here. Scan comes down for Terran. Terran trying to get siege on. Oh, really nice fungals coming down on most of those Marines. Marines in very poor shape. These Marines do not have the combat shield. All they have is the stim. So right now these infestors are basically able to do whatever they want. They do not have neural parasite, but there is only currently 1, 2, 3 tanks out here in the middle for Terran. I'm going to go ahead and try to get some good position, but again, with these creep tumors, Purplepeopleeater can see everything. Oh, infested Terran's getting blopped down here in front of this tank. He's going to absorb some of the damage. Is he going to move in with a counterattack? No, he's currently in the middle of morphing in. Looks like 16 banelings and a ton of lings. Infestor still has plenty of energy to come in. And now, finally, Red Thor taking down some of these creep tumors. Not the one that's directly under his units, though. Is going to go ahead and siege up here and start hitting part of the natural. But he is going to have to deal with this army down here. Lings coming in now, attacking. Banelings and Festers coming in. Fungal growths coming down. And the Banelings need to get a good connect. Running in. Chasing after his Marauders. Splashing. Oh, so cost ineffective against them. A few Banelings, not enough. Lings coming in, and Fester is going to get off a few more Fungals, flopping down just a couple infested Terrans. These are all very weak. Going to the unit counting station, we have 2 Lings, 4 Infestors, 3 Queens, 51 drones for Zerg, 15 Marines, 5 Medevacs, and a few tanks and Marauders for Terran. Right now, Zerg is going to be taking this 4th base. His 3rd, not that well saturated. All of his energy, all of his larvae going directly into Lings, and just to maintain his current bases, because those siege tanks can move right on up here and start sieging into the natural. More Lings coming in. This is spotted by Terran. Terran just barely has enough energy on these, and he's swarming in. He's going to get 1 siege tank, 2 siege tanks down. He's going to be able to clean up the middle here and regain map control. But here comes in a reinforcing Terran. And it's going to force Zerg back into his base. So right now, the supply 116 to 81. Terran has been able to hold his advantage the whole game. The natural for Terran has been saturated. 3rd down now, no orbital. Probably see an orbital fairly soon. Both players floating quite a bit of minerals, and there it goes. Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be a planetary fortress at his 3rd. Terran going ahead and sieging up on this high ground, maintaining his vision with this watchtower. He does have 2 medevacs here that are almost dead. 2 more in the back. Marine Marauder tank for his composition. Zerg continuing to drone somewhat hard here at his 3rd. This 4th on its way being built, but Zerg having to basically spend all of his resources and larvae just continuing to repop. Baneling, Ling, Infestor continuing with that composition. Terran looks very well fortified here. Zerg may go for a counterattack, just bypass that completely. The front of Red Thor surprisingly open as he's continuing to rally up to this high ground location. So we'll see if Purplepeopleeater decides to go for a diversionary tactic or a flank tactic, move in. The counterattack from this Terran army may be a little bit slower, but he needs to do something fairly quickly now because he is down now 30 supply, going straight